breaking news from KXAN News.
That breaking news this afternoon, Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his name from becoming the next Attorney General.
His nomination has been plagued with controversy. Today's announcement comes after meeting with senators yesterday in an effort to win their support for his confirmation to the role. Previously, House Republicans voted against releasing the Ethics Committee's investigation into claims against him. In a statement posted on the social media platform X, Matt Gaetz says, "While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition." It's still unclear when the president-elect could name another nominee. Back here at home, months after a 13-year-old in Northeast Austin died in a shooting, his 18-year-old cousin now faces manslaughter charges.
The teen charge said it was an accident while playing video games. Court documents say Charles Simmons shot his cousin Julian Hernandez in the head. Simmons told police the two were, quote, talking crazy to each other while playing video games. That's when documents say he grabbed the loaded handgun he, quote, bought off the street a few days prior and pointed it at Julian.
As you're seeing on your screen, the court documents say the gun didn't have a safety, but that Simmons admitted he knew it was loaded when he had his finger on the trigger. Neighbors remember seeing the scene just afterwards.
Something that I've never seen before in this neighborhood.
We were home that day, and when we came out, we saw a bunch of police cars.
We also spoke to Hernandez's mother on the phone. She says her nephew and son were close, and she truly thinks this was an accident. In a statement, Simmons' attorney said this is an unfortunate incident, and Mr. Simmons is regretful beyond belief. Police say they decided to file charges against Simmons after speaking with the district attorney's office. A new report from KXAN investigators today digs into the data behind teens being arrested for certain violent crimes here in Central Texas. According to DPS uniform crime reporting from 2019 to 2023 in Travis County, there was no more than one arrest each year of a juvenile aged 13 to 14 years old for a homicide charge. But so far in 2024, that data shows 3 out of 6 juveniles facing homicide charges this year were in that same age range of 13 to 14. Online right now in the investigative section of our website, you can read the full investigation. You can also explore more data like this graph showing juvenile arrests by age and offense.
First warning weather.
This afternoon, we're taking a live look out west from downtown Austin, and as far as your eye can see, there is not a cloud in the sky. Such a gorgeous day out there. We're here now with meteorologist Tommy House. And Tommy, not many complaints from many people around town right now.
Oh, it's a perfect day today. When it's in the mid-70s, even yesterday when it was in the upper 60s, I was outside on the trails. I hope you all had a chance to enjoy some of that nice weather, and you know, we'll warm up a little bit into the weekend, but a few days away. We'll get to that in just a bit.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
That's right, enjoy it while it lasts. Here's Dripping Springs right now, our Allied Medical emergency room camera. A few people driving around for lunchtime plans, and as Will said, there is not a cloud, and that will be the name of the game throughout the day today, with temperatures climbing back up into the mid-70s. KXAN.com/allergy has 24/7 updates on these pollen elements. Mold is high, trending up. We have 2 other ones, grass and fallow low, ragweed is low, trending up at this hour. Hill Country, we're clocking in at the mid to upper 60s up towards San Saba. Lampasas still the low 60s, and Kingsland you're at 64. How about Burnett at 63? The airport's at 68, Pflugerville 67, Round Rock 64 east of I-35. Few 70s starting to get sprinkled in. Cedar Creek 70 as of noon. Clouds and radar, yeah, you can't even see a cloud. You have to go way up to parts of Colorado or west to Arizona or way east toward the Tennessee, Virginia, up toward that, Kentucky for clouds and rain, because that's just how dry it is around the southern plains. Today, upper 60s, low 70s, 73, Dripping Springs down towards San Marcos, 73, Lockhart, 73, 69 in Burnett, Gillespie County at 71. So a little bit warmer than average, but looking at the big picture here, we're climbing back up into the 80s early next week, so we'll enjoy this while it lasts. So here's what's coming up. Your weekend warm-up, we'll talk about high school football playoffs are tonight, and also your Texas football forecast on Saturday, what I'm thinking for kickoff and at the end of the game then. And a Thanksgiving cool down. Some of the computer models are saying, hey, we could be seeing 1, maybe 2 cold fronts before Thanksgiving. How will that affect your travel plans? I'll let you know in just a second here, and that will be during my full forecast.
Tommy, thanks so much. The Travis County District Attorney's Office says a man convicted 20 years ago of killing and robbing his former 7th grade teacher should be released from prison. This morning, we incorrectly stated that the office will speak with reporters today. However, today is just a hearing. The district attorney's office says that Alvin Stewart should be granted a new trial and released from prison while awaiting a decision from the Texas Criminal Court of Appeals. The DA's office also claims Stewart did not receive a fair trial. He was sentenced 20 years for manslaughter and 60 years for robbery. We have a closer look at this case over on KXAN.com.
Texas border crossings are at their lowest level in years. State leaders, though, expect tougher enforcement from the Trump administration.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott also shared yesterday that Operation Lone Star is expanding border buoys in the Rio Grande. He's also touting Texas National Guard troops participating in training exercises to prepare for what he calls potential mass migration. Texas also announced it purchased a plot of land and offered that to the Trump administration that's incoming. Texas Land Commissioner Don Buckingham says that 1,400 acres could serve as a deportation facility.
It's so incredibly important for the safety of our communities to shut down this trafficking, this mass migration of illegal immigrants, and get our communities safe again.
State lawmakers already filed some major border security bills ahead of the January session. Those include efforts to establish a Texas Department of Homeland Security and authorize DPS to deport migrants.
Speaking of DPS, the Texas Department of Public Safety is getting a new leader. We first told you yesterday here on KXAN News at noon that Senior Deputy Director Freeman Martin will now head the department. That'll start in just over a week on December 1st. Martin has spent his entire career with DPS after starting as a highway patrol trooper. Steve McCraw is retiring after spending 15 years in charge of the state's law enforcement division. New this morning, Governor Greg Abbott is prohibiting state agencies from making any new investments in China with state funds. In a letter released today, he also directed agencies to divest any current investments there.
This move is the latest in a series of orders this week targeting members of the Chinese Communist Party and the People's Republic of China. Abbott says he is making efforts to protect Texans who are being harassed and protect the Lone Star State itself. Yesterday, the governor also ordered the Texas Division of Emergency Management to establish a task force to survey potential vulnerabilities in state and local infrastructure, simulate responses to cyber attacks, and practice rebooting the Texas power grid in case of a foreign attack.
On Tuesday, the governor directed state agencies and higher education institutions to harden their systems. And just a day earlier on Monday, he gave the Department of Public Safety the green light to charge individuals who prey on dissidents. This all comes after the FBI arrested 2 men in New York, accused of opening secret Chinese police stations. Abbott says the FBI believes there is one in Houston as well.
Going in depth now, this is the latest in a number of executive orders signed by the governor just this year. Last month, a separate order took effect requiring hospitals here in the state to check patients' citizenship status when they're checked in and report the expenses of treating undocumented immigrants to the state. Also, earlier this year, Abbott ordered universities to punish anti-Semitic rhetoric on campuses.
A North Carolina Christmas tree is making its way to the White House. This special Fraser fir is named Tremendous. Very cute. It is 19 feet tall. Members of the White House staff came to Cartner's Christmas tree farm last month to select this very tree. It will go in the blue room of the White House. The tree was harvested yesterday and put on a flatbed truck for the trip to Washington. Back here at home, love this story. You can grab tickets to watch ACL Live celebrate its 50th anniversary. It's recording its special tonight, and there's going to be some very special guests like Gary Clark Jr., Leon Bridges. Some good news, if you missed tonight, PBS is airing it in April of next year. Of course, that's the best part about ACL is ACL Live. You get to rewatch all of the shows. If you don't get to go in person, they're all broadcast.
Yeah, what an amazing experience too if you happen to be lucky enough to get one of those tickets.
Really incredible stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 years since Willie performed. You know, it's so much ingrained in Austin history.
It's in the fabric of the city.
Isn't it crazy that was a month ago? I mean, the time, 4 weeks just like that, gone. It's still just as hot, but you know, some days, right? It's still in the 80s, but
right.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So,
all right, tell us what's going on out there today.
Your weekend forecast. Here we go. All right, Lake Travis, it is blue sky. Wow, that is a tremendous shot. The water is the same as the sky. You can't even see a cloud. And there were a few boats out and about, but in Central Texas standards, it's a little bit chilly to be hitting the water today. This is from the Oasis restaurant, courtesy of them. So thank you for this fantastic view here on this Thursday afternoon. All right, so nothing to talk about here in a localized view. Big picture across Texas, it's pretty boring. But we do have some nice seasonable air out and about. 60s for pretty much everyone. Fayette County 68, Flatonia 69, Rockdale 67, Georgetown 65, Hill Country same idea, mid 60s. Pioneer City for high temperatures, east of I-35, low to mid 70s, same idea. Farther out west, maybe an upper 60 mixed in. We hit 68 yesterday in Austin. I think we'll be about 5 degrees warmer today at 73. Overall, a nice and fresh day, sunny, and winds will be relatively light and variable for your Thursday. Overnight tonight, winds will turn calm, and we'll have some 30s outside toward the Hill Country. I think we'll stay in the low 40s in the Metroplex. All right, high school football. Here we go. Live on KBVO tonight. Let's bring a jacket because toward the end of the game, that's when you may notice, hey, it's getting kind of cold out here with those clear skies and calm winds. Those temperatures drop pretty quickly. 3-day forecast. Let's see. A little bit of a warm up here Friday into Saturday. Clouds will build in Saturday into Sunday. Let me play that out on the future clouds and radar here. Notice you're going to see not a lot of rain around our area, and that will be the trend most likely across the next 7 days. Now, Wednesday into Thursday, if you're driving east toward the deep south, you may encounter some showers on a cold front. And this cold front's going to fluctuate. There's actually 2 that we're watching, but the big one would be overnight Wednesday into Thursday. And look at these high temperatures. Now, this will change. This is not a definite forecast, but if this were to play out exactly as we see right now, we could be dealing with 60s and 50s up toward Dallas and 40s toward the Panhandle for a high temperature. The Valley will stay on the warm side in the low 80s. All right, so your 7-day forecast, Texas football on Saturday, 79 then, 84 on your Sunday, 85 on Monday, 75 on Tuesday. We'll see increasing clouds. Those overnight lows go from the low 40s tonight and tomorrow back up into the low 60s come Sunday into Monday. Maybe near record high. 88's the record high on Monday. Likely up to the mid 80s by then.
My name is Deborah Benzall, and I am the Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4 in Burnett County. When someone passes away, our county doesn't have a medical examiner, the JPs, that is a duty of ours. We go to the scene to determine what the cause of death is.
If you suspect a crime has occurred related to that death, what do you do at that point?
I'm pretty well going to send that person first off for an autopsy.
The case from 1965 we've been researching, I do have a copy of the death certificate.
Okay, that'll help me. I hereby certify that I held an inquest over the remains of Lanice Danon Lewis and found that death was due to strangulation, accidental. This was signed by C.B. Wall, the Justice of the Peace.
He was the JP in your precinct back then.
Yes, and apparently the child's age was 13, I think, at the time it shows.
We learned that no autopsy was done in this case.
Oh, okay.
There are questions about whether her death was actually an accident.
Sure. I know that I would have definitely wanted an autopsy, on that child.
Should JPs still be investigating deaths in Texas? Or is it time to figure out a different system at this point?
I mean, I feel comfortable with what I do. I'm not saying that there isn't something better.
Across Texas, tracking any trends or problems with death inquests performed by Justices of the Peace is nearly impossible. With around 900 precincts, you have to file individual requests, which can be a long and costly process. There is no central statewide system the public can access. The state does collect death certificates, but those are sealed for 25 years after a person dies, so the latest records available are not recent.
Texas lawmakers recognize, though, death investigations are important to their constituents. And in recent legislative sessions, there's been quite a debate at the Capitol over which counties use JPs and which have medical examiners.
Have all members voted? There being 100.
Chair lays out House Bill 3895. Chair recognizes Chairman Oliver Center to explain.
Under current law, only counties with a population of more than 2 million people are required to establish and maintain a medical examiner's office. In the absence of a medical examiner, the Justice of the Peace is responsible for determining the cause of death.
The death investigation system started back in the 19th century. Very few of us have medical examiner offices, and I consider it a moral imperative.
The medical examiner is a physician who specializes as a pathologist in accurately determining the cause of death. Having that actual trained resource available is something that we should encourage.
Today, only 4 Texas counties have 2 million people or more, the population count that required them at the time to add an ME. That threshold had doubled from 1 million, a change that meant 3 additional counties didn't need to establish ME offices yet, even though most on that list already have one, except for Denton County in North Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Denton County is one of the fastest growing counties in the country and is rapidly approaching a population now of 1 million people. And if they were required to establish their own medical examiner, it would initially cost approximately $4 million.
In 2019, a state lawmaker named Tan Parker successfully pushed the new population requirement through the legislature, allowing his home, Denton County, to avoid getting its own medical examiner and with a few other counties continue its long-standing partnership with nearby Tarrant County to fund and operate a shared regional ME's office there.
My Denton County judge and commissioner said we can partner with our neighboring Tarrant County and get terrific services, taking care of all of our people at a fraction of the cost for the taxpayer. My perspective is when you see locally your JPs are being overwhelmed because of the workload that they have, well, then it's time to take action.
That's why, ahead of the next legislative session, and after our questions, Senator Parker is taking a closer look at the requirement and studying how more counties might take advantage of similar regional arrangements.
Still, most Texas counties are nowhere close to an existing medical examiner's office, and they're far from hitting the population requirement, which has since increased to 2.5 million to build one of their own. That includes Burnett County, but it won't stay that way forever. In 1965, there were 10,000 people living here. Nearly 60 years later, it's grown to almost 54,000.
Yeah, I was raised here in Marble Falls. Small town where you knew everybody.
That's how small towns go, right?
Yes, it is.
How has criminal activity changed over the decades?
Increased because more people move into the area. My name is Janie Prue. I'm the coordinator for Hill Country Area Crime Stoppers. Anybody can report crime. They can either call me on my tip line. We have an app now and send me a tip. Every bit of it's anonymous. We submit it, send it off to where it needs to go. I average anywhere from 20 to 30 tips a month, mostly drug-related, some child abuse a lot, and animal abuse. We're not immune to it anymore like we used to be.
Were you aware of what crime was like back then?
Don't remember crime at all.
In 1965, you were 8th grade?
Yeah.
The same grade as Danon Lewis?
Yes.
Do you remember how you found out that she had died?
I just remember being totally shocked because things like that didn't happen in Marble Falls.
Especially to someone so young.
Yes. I don't think anybody really believed that it was a suicide at the time.
Cases like this stick with you?
Absolutely, yeah. Just not having any closure. I would love to see it solved, but I don't think it ever will be. Too much time has passed.
Whatever classification that didn't make it appear that girl killed herself, even accidentally. It just didn't happen that way.
That would be nice. That would keep her memory alive.
Not forgotten. I think that's the most important thing.
Online now, A Hanging on Backbone Creek, the complete digital investigation. Watch the entire docuseries, explore the Danon Lewis mystery and other reports on Texas's Justice of the Peace system, and more, including an update on how our questions could soon lead to change at the state capitol. And don't forget to listen to a new season of our Catalyst podcast, where we take a closer look at this 60-year-old case and how our team pieced the evidence together. Just go to kxan.com/backbonecreek.
in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News at Noon.
An 83-year-old woman and her dog were found dead earlier this week in East Austin. An 84-year-old man now charged with her murder.
The Austin police homicide detectives on this case described it as a brutal attack with a strange motive. KXAN's Mercedes Hernandez is joining us live here in the studio to share that update. Hi there, Mercedes.
Hi there. Yes, the officials that gave this update, you could tell that they were really disturbed by the details of what happened. Now, they did stress that this was sadly a case of domestic violence and that this ended in the worst way that those cases can. Now, APD Detective Israel Pena said it was Monday afternoon when a call came in asking for a welfare check on Linda Milsna at the 6900 block of Bryn Mawr Drive. She reportedly hadn't been seen for a few days, and a neighbor also reported a foul smell coming from the home as well. Patrol officers found her body and the body of her dog inside a closet in the home, and Pena said that the unnatural position of her body was a sign that the death did not happen naturally. Police then discovered that Milsna's roommate, 84-year-old Jack Moore, was not in the home, and attempts to reach him were unsuccessful. Now, with help from Milsna's family, they found financial records that said he was using her credit cards. Financial records were used to track him down to the stores he was allegedly shopping at and another home where he was staying at the time. Now, he was arrested shortly after for an active warrant for violating parole that was related to a carjacking. Now, Pena couldn't specify where or when that happened, but did say that Moore also spent time in prison. Pena says Moore confessed to killing Milsna, stealing the cards, and planned to flee the country. He also explained why he did it.
He wanted her to die there, and then when it came to the dog, I asked him about that. He said that he wanted the dog to be with her as well. I mean, it kind of highlights, we shouldn't underestimate anyone, right? He's 84 years old. The likelihood of this occurring again is pretty slim, but you just can't predict who's dangerous and who's not.
This is the 63rd homicide for Austin this year. According to APD, 13 of those 63 homicides are family or domestic violence related cases. Moore remains in the Travis County Jail charged with first-degree murder. His bond has been set at $1 million. Avery?
Mercedes, thanks for tracking this case for us. We are coming up on a crucial deadline in Austin's mayoral race.
Mayor Kirk Watson is projected to win re-election, but the second-place candidate could change that. Carmen Yanez-Pulido has until 2 this afternoon to ask for a recount. Mayor Watson took just over 50% of the vote, crossing the threshold needed to avoid a runoff by 14 votes. Watson is ahead of Yanez-Pulido by more than 100,000 votes, though.
According to the Secretary of State's office, Yanez-Pulido would need to file a deposit with the office. The county clerk's office could not tell us just how much that would cost.
First warning weather.
We want to get a look outside from the top of our Austonian camera. A just beautiful view today. And I think even more beautiful is the number on that degrees that's tracking for us, that thermometer there. Oh my goodness.
I'm keeping a look on that right-hand corner of our screens there, and what a great temperature that is, Tommy.
You know, when I grew up outside of Boston, I thought 73 was like peak summer, and I'm seeing a paddleboarder go by, and I'm like, are you crazy? It is so cold outside, especially this morning. It was ridiculous. Here's our skyline shot in the far distance, southeast Austin, courtesy of Whittlesey Landscape and Supplies. Thank you for supplying us with this shot. Not a single cloud, and a few dump trucks driving that pretty close by to the camera there. Clouds and radar, there is nothing. It is sunny, so our solar forecast is pretty much off the charts. Look at that all throughout the day today, and that will carry through not only today, but tomorrow and even into the weekend. Now, a little bit of clouds will build in starting on Sunday, but overall sunshine is the name of the game for the near future. Hill country, upper 60s, down towards Stonewall, mid-60s in Gillespie County, but besides that, up toward places like Lampasas already at 70, Marble Falls 68, Horseshoe Bay 68, Kingsland 67, Llano 66. How about the metro temperatures? Mid to upper 60s at this time. Georgetown 65, a little bit cooler compared to the airport at 68, down toward Kyle 69, San Marcos 66 degrees, and east of I-35, some mid 70s starting to pop up in the near future. 72 at Round Top and 72 places east of Bastrop. Bastrop here at 69 as of right now. High temperatures today will stay in the mid-70s, which overall is pleasant. Yesterday we were at 68 degrees, so we'll be a little bit warmer than average, but you can't really tell with just how gorgeous it is. A pattern change is on the way. Winds will shift, and with that comes an increase of clouds and warmer weather. Your holiday travel forecast will talk about, will it rain in the Lone Star State? We'll look at the high temperature trend. Maybe a cold front or two may cool us down into Thanksgiving. I'll show you the latest models coming up in my full forecast.
Tommy, thank you. A Texas Hill Country development got an updated water plan. It's aimed at protecting land that some call the Lone Star State's best kept secret. We told you on Monday that the West Travis County Public Utility Agency agreed unanimously to move forward on a proposed water service line to the Marisol Springs development. That development is located just west of Hamilton Pool. The new water line is meant to prevent groundwater depletion in an area some refer to as the crown jewels of Texas. According to the plan, water from the utility agency must be the exclusive water source for the development. That means no groundwater or surface water can be used as a water source. KXAN senior science reporter Eric Henriksen has been following Marisol Springs development closely. He has more details for you and some background as well if you'd like to dig into it right now on KXAN.com.
Turning now to some developing news this afternoon, Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his name from becoming the next Attorney General.
His nomination has been plagued by controversy. Today's announcement comes after meeting with senators yesterday in an effort to win their support for his confirmation. Previously, House Republicans voted against releasing the Ethics Committee's investigation into allegations against him. In a statement posted to the social media platform X, Matt Gaetz says, "While momentum was strong, it's clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition." It's still unclear when the president-elect could name another nominee.
President-elect Trump has picked Pete Hoekstra to be the next U.S. ambassador to Canada. Hoekstra is a former U.S. congressman from Michigan and served as the ambassador to the Netherlands during Trump's first term. Trump released a statement saying Hoekstra was a great help to his campaign as chairman of the Michigan Republican Party. The statement went on to say, quote, "In my second term, Pete will help me once again put America first."
Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker will serve as U.S. ambassador to NATO. Trump has expressed skepticism about the Western military alliance for years. Whitaker does not have experience in foreign or military affairs. The president-elect said in a statement Wednesday Whitaker is a, quote, "strong warrior and loyal patriot who will ensure the United States' interests are advanced and defended, strengthen relationships with our NATO allies, and stand firm in the face of threats to peace and stability."
The United States vetoed a United Nations resolution demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. Leaders say that is because it had no link to a hostage release.
The council voted overwhelmingly in favor of the resolution. U.S. Deputy Ambassador Robert Wood said the United States worked for weeks to avoid a veto of the resolution. He expressed regret that compromise language was not accepted.
A durable end to the war must come with the release of the hostages. These two urgent goals are inextricably linked.
The Palestinian deputy UN ambassador said a ceasefire would save all lives. Back here at home in the state, Texas is home to nearly 7 million children, but at least 1.6 million are without access to reliable childcare.
That is why today the group Children at Risk and key business leaders in the state came together to focus on solutions for child safety. Children at Risk is a research and advocacy nonprofit that's fighting to improve quality of life for Texas children. They say there are at least 365 child care deserts across the state, and in low-income working families, that number jumps to 850. That's due to families struggling to find child care, with many spending at least 10 to 15% more on that. To address this, Kim Coffrin with Children at Risk says the legislative needs to focus on increasing the supply for child care programs and reduce the number of child care deserts.
And we're really asking our state leaders to continue their good work by making strategic investments in childcare to build the supply for programs and reduce those childcare deserts. Working families need access to childcare to participate in our workforce. You know, childcare is this dual generation. It not only educates the future workforce, but it supports our current workforce going to work. We know families need it, to bring them their best selves to their own job.
If you would like to learn some more about this organization, you can visit its website, childrenatrisk.org. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back here to KXAN News at noon as the time is 12:43. We're looking live right now in Fredericksburg, where the conditions are just about the same everywhere you look outside right now. Gorgeous blue skies, incredible temperatures. We'll get an update about what's in store for the weekend ahead in just a few moments with Tommy House. Now, when you find a great recipe online and then wonder where you can save it, there are some options available. Rich DeMuro takes a look at several apps that can help you organize and save your digital recipe collection.
There are so many great recipes, but what's the best way to save them? Here are the apps to know. Mela keeps it clean and simple. Use the in-app browser to find a recipe, then save the details to your collection. It was able to parse a Food Network recipe, but not one from Instagram. The app does a nice job of keeping things organized. You can save 10 recipes for free or pay $5 for more. Mela works with iOS and Mac only. Recipe Keeper works on various devices, but each app is sold separately. You can save 20 recipes for free. Scan from a PDF, photo, or import from a website. I like how you can adjust serving size on the fly and pin favorites to the home screen. It works with Instagram recipes too. Just the Recipe is great because it has a website that's handy for transforming a cluttered page into something simple and clean. It works on both iPhone and Android for $13 a year. Sadly, it did not capture the Instagram recipes I tried. Crouton works on Apple devices only, but it has one of the best designs of the bunch. Import from camera, image, text, or a URL. I love how it puts the directions in easy-to-follow step-by-step screens. Save some recipes for free. Upgrades start at $15. Finally, Umami has that special something. It works with iPhone and Android and has specific import options for Instagram and TikTok. It even lets you browse popular recipe sites for inspiration and easy saving. It's $10 a year or $20 lifetime, all devices included. There's an extension to save from your computer, and you can export all of your recipes as a book.
Pretty handy, and just in time for Thanksgiving too, if you've got some recipes saved. Okay, the newest tram in Hungary's capital has been unveiled. A full-size rail vehicle made of, get this, 1.8 million colorful Lego blocks. And of course, if you can imagine, it's the first of its kind in the world. It is 6 tons and it measures 11.5 meters long. It was unveiled in Budapest earlier this week, and it took 90 people nearly 7,000 hours to build. It took them 2 months, basically. Now, this is all part of a collaboration between Lego Hungary, the city of Budapest, and the capital's public transit company, BKV. While the full-size Lego tram will unfortunately not carry passengers, it's not built for that. It will be on display so people there can see it in a central square in Budapest through the almost up until the holidays, basically until December 20th. It's a part of a celebration of the holiday season, and also a reminder for people there to support and promote sustainable transportation.
So a tram, is it like a part of a train, like one of the pieces of it?
Yeah, like the little train car.
Yeah, because I used to collect those Thomas the Tank Engine ones as a kid. That looked kind of familiar.
There you go.
It's like a full-grown version of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just hate that you can't get on it and walk around or take a ride or something.
Yeah.
Might shatter all the little Legos though.
Correct.
I don't know.
Or you step on it, you know, and how that feels, you know, if you step on a Lego.
Step on a Lego.
Maybe best not to walk on it then. Yeah, we'll see.
Here's my question for y'all. Was it too cold out the door for you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
No, I loved it.
We're
I thought it
thriving.
was so
Some
nice.
people were kind of messaging me and saying, well, not everyone likes the cold, but I feel like most people were enjoying this or looking forward to it.
You got two right here.
Well, I mean, I feel like most of us, even in the studio this morning, the weather team, I was talking to Freddie this morning and Eric on traffic, but yeah, you know, I think it was such a hot fall that we just were so overdue for some cold
We're ready for it.
And I actually have some good news for y'all. Let's get to your weather forecast right now. Here's the domain by Indeed. Beautiful shot there, high pressure right overhead, so we're dealing with those clear skies, and Calm conditions, winds are relatively light, temperatures will stay right around seasonable, and localized clouds and radar. You can't see a cloud or a drop of rain, and that will be the case well into the weekend. Current temperatures right now, east of I-35 down toward Fayette County, already a 70 in LaGrange, mid-60s up in Georgetown, and Hill Country will stay in the mid to upper 60s today throughout the day. Your afternoon planner picking up the kids from school in a few hours at 73 degrees in Austin. We'll keep the sunshine all throughout the entirety of your Thursday. Clear skies tonight. Find your city here for high temps. We should be at 70. We'll stay in the upper 60s farther out west, but big picture is dealing with pleasant air. So yesterday we were at 68. Today, 5 degrees warmer at 73. Nice and fresh, sunny, and winds will be light and variable out of the south and west. Tonight, 43, clear skies and pretty cold overnight. Not as chilly as it was this morning, but still nonetheless some 30s are possible outside of the city. And tomorrow for your Friday, we'll stay east of the metro in the upper 70s down toward places like LaGrange and Flatonia and San Marcos, 76 in Austin, 73 Georgetown tomorrow, Lampasas and San Saba in the mid 70s. Head out to the Vineyard this weekend, be a bit warmer on your Sunday. We'll see a bit of a pattern change. Wind shifting to the south, which means we'll have clouds build back in and also 80s returning. So a chance for being up to 10 to 15 degrees above where we should be Sunday into Monday. Going out Saturday into Sunday, you'll see some cloud cover begin to build in. But where's the rain? Let's continue to play this out Monday, Tuesday into your Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. This model's putting a few spotty showers over Louisiana and then a cold front moving through. Most likely 2 cold fronts will be sweeping through the Lone Star State this next week. The first one Monday into Tuesday, not as strong. The second one Wednesday into Thursday. Again, this will likely change. We're still a week out, but if this were to stay the exact same, we could be seeing highs on your Thanksgiving in the 60s in Central Texas. Up a little bit warmer down toward the valley, depending on when the cold front will sweep on by. We know the first one could be Monday into Tuesday, going from 85 on Monday. Our record high on Monday is 88 degrees, so we'll be in that ballpark of near record high, and then a front will move through Monday into your Tuesday. 75 on Tuesday, 77 on Wednesday, and overall shaping up to be a dry and pleasant next 7 days.
SVU at 8, Found at 9, and then KXAN News at 10. We've got a series of cute stories for you, so just bear with us a little while longer. First up, though, a black bear in New Mexico is making the most of the snowfall from a recent winter storm. A worker at a park ranch says he captured this video of the bear rolling, jumping, and playing in the snow this past weekend.
I see a big plume of snow go flying up on my left side, and so I hit the brakes and look over, and sure enough, there's the bear just rolling around, throwing snow up into the air. It was really, really cool.
He was having a good time. A wildlife expert says that black bears are out and about this time of year, finding food and getting ready for hibernation until late March.
Yeah, Will, that's actually exact footage of me when it snows. I don't know how we got that mixed up here in the
Find me
production.
outside doing that.
Yeah. Okay, another cute story for you. He is not just the son, but the son that stepped up. Quite literally. Take a look at this. This mother using her own son as a step stool. The Cincinnati.
So helpful.
I know, so cute, so helpful. The Cincinnati Zoo shows BB standing on the back of her son Fritz. Fritz, if you haven't seen cute footage of them before, Fritz was born in August of 2022. The little brother of the zoo's beloved hippo Fiona as well.
Yeah.
They're a pretty famous family, but our producers wanted us to let you know Moo Ding would never let her mother use her as a step stool.
Yeah, Moo Ding would take a bite out of that knee.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. Yeah, there you go.
All right, weather. Right? Gonna be a bit of a warm weekend. How do you transition from Moo Dang to your 7
Yeah, you got to top Moo Ding.
I'm trying to figure it out. There's no way I'm stepping
there we go.
It's gonna be a great weekend. It's gonna be trying. Yeah, we're trying here, y'all. We're trying. 84 on your Sunday, 85 on Monday. Bit of a cool down before Thanksgiving. And Texas football, Avery, I know you're excited on Saturday.
Always, always.
Those are some nice conditions, though.
They're
Pretty
playing.
consistent temperatures there. I'm loving that.
It makes our job so easy. Who are they playing on Saturday? Is it Kentucky?
Kentucky.
And it's a senior game, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go to that. What is it? Afternoon though?
It is. It's a 2:30 kick.
Okay, so I'll be here actually in the studio then.
Yeah. You're gonna be a little busy.
I'll watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to say thank you all for watching here this afternoon. We'll see you back here a little later this afternoon at 4. Join us then. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Take care.